Hello and welcome to Clear the Issue with Brennan Pearce. On the program today, we will look at the question of whether it is becoming harder for young people to get a start in the music industry. But first, let me introduce my guests from the music program at Kadina High School, Lucinda Gray and Jessica Johnson, who will help us tackle this issue. Good. How are we going today, ladies?
Good.
It's good to have you here in the studio.
It's good to be here.
That's good. Now, Kadina High School actually has a record of giving students a grounding in the industry, with quite a few notables having even what could be considered a minor career. Names such as Nick Hewitt, who's a well-known trumpet player in this area and is now actually playing in the US. Nairi Joseph, who almost made it to the top 12 on Australian Idol. And Candice Cascarandi, who's also a local singer-songwriter. As well as Taya Smith, who is now part of the well-known Christian band Hillsong United, and many, many more. So, given the history for our listeners at home, I thought it only appropriate to bring in these guys from Kadina High School and ask them a number of questions. So, Lucinda, if I could start with you, as a young musician yourself, how easy does it feel for you knowing that you're at the age where you would like to get a start in the music industry?
Well, I think it's become extremely difficult in the later years, as it's not just about the music anymore. It's more to do with the image, and what like record labels and things like that want to see is not just the music but the person.
Yeah, definitely. Jessica, what do you think?
Living in this area, it's definitely hard because we're not given as many opportunities as people living in Sydney, Melbourne, in the heart of the music industry. We're more rural. But in saying that, it's all about talent, and if you really want it, you can make those opportunities happen.
And you mentioned make those opportunities happen. What ways, like as a rural student, what ways do you make those, could you create those opportunities?
Definitely by just getting your own music out there, just advertising yourself and promoting your own songs and creativity, originality, you know, hooking it up with social media, auditioning for competitions, recording your music and displaying it for the world.
Yeah, definitely. You guys both collectively agreed that it's hard for musicians to get a start in the industry. What do you think is ultimately stopping it being easy as such?
Well, I think it is a lot to do with the image. Like, people, they may have an amazing voice, but it depends on their body image to what people are going to be attracted to. And that stops a lot of people.
And it's also what the industry is looking for. They want unique, original, new talent, something they haven't seen before. And it's hard to constantly come up with something new. And if you do have original songs, they've got to be up to a certain standard to be considered into that industry.
Yeah, definitely. What would you guys collectively like to see change so that you have a better opportunity to get into the industry? I'll start with you, Lucinda.
Well, I think it's good to use opportunities like in a rural area of like competitions and things like that. It's always good to just start somewhere and get your music out there. But there's a lot more opportunity in the cities, which is harder for us. But I think just starting with places where you can get it out there, and YouTube and social media is such a good way to do that, because it's just broadens so many people's horizons with those kind of things.
Yeah, definitely.
And also being at high school, teachers coming up to you and presenting you with opportunities, and people just pushing you to, you know, follow through with your music. If someone thinks you're talented, you know, give them the encouragement to go that bit further and seek those opportunities, because if you don't have that encouragement, you feel as if you're lacking and you've got no places to go.
Yeah, and it's it's often a key thing in almost every area in a rural setting. So
There's
yeah,
definitely support though. There's always stuff out there.
yeah, definitely. What role do you think record executives play in this problem? Do you think their expectations might have to change?
Yes, there's very high expectations for people, and it's expected that you do change yourself to fit what they think you should be in the box of someone who's going to work in the music industry.
Yeah. Jessica, any thoughts on that?
Well, you've got to be a certain way. You not just appearance wise or talent wise, also personality. You've got to be willing to thrive upon those opportunities and be, different places all around to go to those gigs or auditions. You've got to fly to Sydney and then you're at Melbourne. Bringing opportunities more to us would definitely increase our place in the music industry.
Yeah, definitely. I had to bring it up, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Lordy started out as a 16-year-old musician in New Zealand. You mentioned you have to be a certain way, Jessica. Do you think it's like that way would be something like stuff that they're not used to, like the industry is not used to, or do you think that actually hampers them?
You've got to make an impact either way, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely, and bring something new to the table. Lord has definitely changed the music industry because she's also she's got the instrument of her voice, but she's used that electronic beats to include in her songs and take it away from a bit of just the raw instruments, which is what technology is coming to today. So she's really moving with the times, and I think that's definitely influencing her part as a musician.
Yeah. And finally, I hear you guys are off to play as a duo in Blues Fest and Crankfest in the next few weeks. How did you get into that?
Well, with Blues Fest, our magnificent music teacher, Miss J, knows the right people, I guess, and we have connections with the Cape Byron High, I think, and so that they always give us the chance to perform there for about half an hour. And last year we did it, and we went to Miss J this year and thought, can we do it again, because it was an amazing opportunity. And so she said yes, and we're gearing up to perform there.
Yeah.
What do you you guys, feel free to expand on this as well, Lucinda. You guys mentioned that it's a really amazing opportunity. What makes Blues Fest in particular amazing for two young ladies like yourselves?
It's got such a good atmosphere, and the fact that such big names have played there as well. It's something for us to remember, I think. It's just got this good vibe about it. It's great.
It's definitely also a platform for young local artists. It's so close and really supports Lismore, Byron, Bangalow, the Northern Rivers music scene. So that's great to be a part of that.
So that's all we have time for on today's program. But before we finish, I would like to say a special thank you to Miss Virginia Johnson for coordinating our guest today. A band called Destinizoni, of some foreign name, who can be found on CC Mixture search engine for providing material for our theme music. And finally, our guests Lucinda and Jessica. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
you.